After studying this module, you shall be able to understand the concept of capital budgeting, learn about various techniques for capital investment decisions, identify the advantages and disadvantages of capital budgeting techniques, evaluate the viability of the projects to be chosen for capital investment, analyze the risk and return factor while taking decision for capital investment. Capital budgeting is a decision-making process where an investor decides to invest in long-term assets such as land, buildings, and equipment. Capital budgeting techniques are used to assess the feasibility of any kind of long-term investment. It is one of the most important financial decisions on investment which have long-term maturity period. Slide 7. Capital budgeting techniques are basically used to evaluate the strategic viability of long-term investments in terms of cost and benefits to be gained. Project which earns highest return in the maturity period will be preferred. Any wrong or casual decision may waste huge amount of money invested in the project. Capital budgeting decisions have long-term effects because it involves large sum of capital. Thus, the decisions become irreversible too. Capital budgeting techniques are basically used to evaluate the strategic viability of long-term investments in terms of cost and benefits to be gained. Project which earns highest return in the maturity period will be preferred. Any wrong or casual decision may waste huge amount of money invested in the project. Capital budgeting decisions have long-term effects because it involves large sum of capital. Thus, the decisions become irreversible too. However, it explains the concept of future value of money that can be spent today by following the techniques of net present value, internal rate of return, and annuities. It includes discounted and non-discounted cash flow methods to evaluate project's viability. Discounted cash flow methods calculate the value of future expected cash receipts and expenditure on a common date. A non-discounted method use payback period and average rate of return to evaluate the project, but they do not consider the time value of money. Importance of capital budgeting. They have long-term implications. Capital budgeting decisions are irreversible. Capital budgeting decisions involve substantial outlays. Difference between capital budgeting and current expenditures. Capital budgeting decisions involve projects which are relatively longer than those for current expenditures. Capital expenditure has long-term implications, while current expenditures have short-term implications. Capital expenditure decisions are irreversible, while current expenditure decisions can be changed according to the circumstances. Ways to follow before capital budgeting. Create long-term goals and objectives. Determination of new investment opportunities. List out all the available projects. Estimate and forecast the current and future cash flows. Control and monitor the execution of the proposal. Build up decision protocols which are required to accept the best alternative project from others. Capital budgeting techniques. Various techniques are evolved to examine the financial viability of the project. Capital budgeting techniques are broadly divided into two categories: non-discounting, discounting. Non-discounting techniques include payback method and accounting rate of return method. Discounted techniques are net present value, internal rate of return, benefit cost ratio, modified internal rate of return, and net benefit cost ratio. Payback method. Under this method, we measure the length of time required to recover the initial outlay in the project. Below is the formula for this if all cash flows are equal. Payback period is equal to original investment divided by annual cash flows. Shorter the payback period, the more desirable the project. Example, a project with a life of 5 years has an initial outlay of rupees 15 lakhs. It is expected to generate constant inflows of rupees 5 lakhs. Calculate the payback period of the project. Solution. Payback period is equal to 15 lakhs divided by 5 lakhs. This, the payback period is 3 years. Example. A project with a life of 5 years involves an initial outlay of rupees 20 lakhs and is expected to generate annual inflows of rupees 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 8 lakhs and rupees 3 lakhs over the 5-year period. Solution. Payback period is 4 years because the sum of cash flows over the first 4 years is equal to the initial outlay of the project. Projects whose payback period is less than or equal to the cutoff period will be accepted and others will be rejected. Advantages of payback period. It is the simplest method amongst all available for the appraisal of the project in both concept and application. Weed out the risky project as it considers only those projects which earned substantial inflows in earlier years. Disadvantages of payback period. This method ignores the concept of time value of money. Regardless of the project's lifespan, cutoff period is chosen rather arbitrarily and applied for their evaluation. This method does not consider those projects which generate substantial inflows in later periods. Accounting rate of return within bracket ARR. ARR is equal to average profit after tax divided by average book value of the investment. Average book value of the investment is equal to net working capital plus salvage value plus half the cost minus salvage value. To appraise the project, the ARR of the project is compared with the ARR of the firm as a whole. Example. Calculate ARR while considering the project with the following. You will observe there are 5 columns in the table. First column represents year. 0 is the outflow in the current period. 1, 2, 3 year represents the inflows. The sales revenues are given as 1,90,000, 1,30,000. Operating expenses 50,000, 30,000, 50,000. Depreciation 20,000, 40,000, 40,000. So the annual income is 30,000, 20,000, 40,000. So the average annual income is equal to 30 plus 20 plus 40 divided by 3 is equal to 30,000. Average net book value of investment is equal to 1 lakh plus 0 divided by 2 is equal to 50,000. So accounting rate of return is equal to 30,000 divided by 50,000 multiplied by 100 is equal to 60%. Now the firm will accept the project if the target ARR is less than 60%. Advantages of ARR. It is simple to use in both concept and application. This method considers the return over the entire life of the project. Disadvantages of ARR. This method ignores time value of money. This method depends completely on accounting norms and not on cash flows. And profitability measures based on accounting income can't be taken as reliable investment appraisal method. Net present value. Difference between the present value of inflows and the present value of outflows is called net present value within bracket NPV. Equation is NPV is equal to present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows, or NPV is equal to minus C0 plus sigma I is equal to 1 to T Ci upon 1 plus R raised to power I. Minus C0 is the initial investment. When a company or investor takes on a project or investment, it is important to calculate an estimate of how profitable the project or investment will be. In the formula, the minus C0 is the initial investment, which is a negative cash flow, showing that money is going out as opposed to coming in. Considering that the money going out is subtracted from the discounted sum of cash flows coming in, the net present value would need to be positive in order to be considered as a valuable investment. NPV is equal to minus C0 plus sigma I is equal to 1 to T Ci upon 1 plus R raised to power I. C0 is equal to investment, R is the discount rate, Ci is the cash flows, T is the time period. If NPV is greater than 0, then accept the project. If NPV is less than 0, then reject the project. If NPV is equal to 0, then accept the project if there is no other better project available. Example, calculate the NPV of the project if the cost of capital of the firm is 12%. Below are the following details. You observe that there are 6 columns in the table. The first column represents the year. The second column gives the various items of cash flows. 0 is the current period. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the different number of years. Investment in this project is 12,000. Savings in cost is 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 6,000. Incremental depreciation is 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Pre-tax profit is 3,000, 3,000, 3,000 and 4,000. Taxes 1,500, 1,500, 1,500, 1,500. So finally, if you see in the last row, the net cash flows in the year 0 is minus 12,000. In 1, 2, 3, 4 years is 3,500, 3,500, 3,500 and 8,000. Solution. You see year 1, 2, 3, 4 net cash flow is given 3,500, 3,500, 3,500, 8,000. The present value factor at 12% in the first year is 0.893, 0.797, 0.712, 0.636. Now multiply the cash flows with this present value interest factor. So you get the present value of cash flows as 3,125, 2789, 2492, 5088. So the net present value of the project is minus 12,000 plus 3125 plus 2789 plus 2492 plus 5088. This is equal to 1494. As the NPV of the project is positive, the project is acceptable. Advantages of NPV. It is a sound way for project appraisal as it takes care of time value of money. NPV considers both cash outflows and cash inflows over the lifespan of the project. NPV takes into account both the profitability and risk of the projects. NPV is directly connected with the objective of maximization of shareholders' wealth as it represents the contribution to the wealth of the shareholders. Disadvantages of NPV. It becomes a difficult method in comprehending the concept per se because generally businessmen and non-financial executives use ARR technique for project appraisal instead of using NPV. If the amount of investment is not same in mutually exclusive projects, then NPV cannot give accurate result. NPV may give wrong decision when projects have unequal life. It is tough to calculate the appropriate discount rate. Benefit cost ratio, in short BCR. BCR is also known as profitability index. The formula to calculate BCR is equal to present value of inflows divided by present value of outflows. If BCR is greater than 1, then accept the project. If BCR is less than 1, reject the project. If BCR is equal to 0, then accept the project if there is no other better project available. BCR is used to rank a set of projects in the order of decreasingly efficient use of capital, as it measures the present value per rupee of outlay. However, there is no way for aggregating several small projects into a package that can be compared to a large project. Moreover, this method cannot be used if the investment outlay is spread over more than one period. Net benefit cost ratio, in short NBCR. NBCR is equal to NPV divided by I or BCR minus 1. If NBCR is greater than 0, then accept the project. If NBCR is less than 0, then reject the project. If NBCR is equal to 0, then accept the project if no other better project is available. The BCR and NBCR of the project explained in the above example for explaining NPV. BCR is equal to 34,494 divided by 12,000 is equal to 1.12. NBCR is equal to 1494 divided by 12,000. This is equal to 0.12. Or NBCR is equal to BCR minus 1. This is equal to 1.12 minus 1 is equal to 0.12. However, there is no way for aggregating several small projects into a package that can be compared to a large project. Moreover, this method cannot be used if the investment outlay is spread over more than one period. Internal rate of return, in short IRR. The internal rate of return is the rate of interest at which the NPV of the project becomes 0. We can say present value of cash inflows is equal to present value of cash outflows. If IRR is greater than K, then accept the project. If IRR is less than K, then reject the project. If IRR is equal to K, then accept the project if no other better project is available, while K is the cost of capital. Example: a project has the following cash flow pattern. In the year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the cash flows are minus 12, 4, 5, 5, 3. Calculate the IRR of the project. IRR is the rate of return at which NPV is 0. So, to determine IRR, we need to calculate NPV of the project at different rate of interest until we reach up to the rate of interest at which the NPV of the project becomes 0 or nearly equals to 0. Following is the procedure to compute IRR. Step 1. Calculate the average annual net cash flow. In the given example, average annual net cash flow is equal to 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 divided by 4 is equal to 4.25. Step 2. Divide the initial investment by the average annual net cash flow, that is 12 divided by 4.25 is equal to 2.823. Step 3. Find the interest rate at which the present value of an annuity of rupee 1 will be nearly equal to 2.823 in 4 years from the PVIFA table, which is equal to 15%. Now treat 15% as an initial rate of return to start the trial and error process and continue this process at higher rate of return until we get an interest rate at which NPV is equal to 0. In case we use higher rate of return and NPV becomes negative, then IRR lies between two interest rates, and to determine approximate value of IRR, use linear approximation. NPV at 15% is equal to minus 12 plus 4 into 0.870 plus 5 into 0.756 plus 5 into 0.658 plus 3 into 0.572. This is equal to minus 12 plus 3.48 plus 3.78 plus 3.29 plus 1.716. This is equal to 0.266. Now NPV at 16% is equal to minus 12 plus 4 into 0.862 plus 5 into 0.743 plus 5 into 0.641 plus 3 into 0.552. This is equal to minus 12 plus 3.448 plus 3.715 plus 3.205 plus 1.656. This is equal to 0.024. NPV at 17% is equal to minus 12 plus 4 into 0.855 plus 5 into 0.731 plus 5 into 0.624 plus 3 into 0.534. This is equal to minus 12 plus 3.42 plus 3.655 plus 3.12 plus 1.602 is equal to minus 0.203. At 16%, NPV is 0.024, which is near to 0. Thus, IRR of the project is 16% only. For appraisal of the project, we need the information regarding the cost of capital employed in the project, which is denoted as K, and IRR is denoted as R. If R is more than K, then accept the project, otherwise reject the project. Advantages of IRR. This technique considers time value of money. This considers cash flows over the entire life of the project. It is a help for a businessman who prefers to think in terms of rate of return on the capital employed by him. Disadvantages of IRR. There can be an occurrence of multiple IRR in case of cash flow stream has one or more outflow interspersed with cash inflows. IRR is defined only for those projects whose cash flow is characterized by cash outflows followed by cash inflows. It becomes cumbersome when decision makers have to choose amongst mutually exclusive projects. Modified internal rate of return. In case of IRR, it was assumed that the reinvestment rate remains constant over the investment horizon and equals to IRR. However, in reality, this assumption does not fit correct, as the benchmark for reinvestment is cost of capital. To cure up this problem of IRR technique and to make it consistent with NPV rule, a modified method is innovated as MIRR. Steps to follow this method. Calculate the terminal values of all cash flows assuming the reinvestment rate at cost of capital. The total terminal value will be treated as single cash inflow at the end of the project. Recalculate the IRR by taking only two cash flows. The resultant IRR would be known as MIRR. Advantages of MIRR. MIRR examines whether an investment increases firm's value. It considers all cash flows as well as time value of money. This method cured the problem of multiple IRR. This method is consistent with NPV It measures the riskiness of the future cash flows. It estimates more realistic reinvestment rate, which is consistent with the conservation policy followed by most finance people. Disadvantages of MIRR. An estimate of cost of capital is required for decision making. In case of mutually exclusive projects, it may not give value maximizing decision. In case of capital rationing also, it may not give value maximizing decision. NPV gives correct value 100% of the time and thus considered to be the best method of capital budgeting. IRR uses only one discount rate, which in some cases can cause problems. For example, if we have two projects and both share a common discount rate, same level of risk, predictable cash flows, and short time period, then IRR rarely will work for the evaluation because discount rates generally change substantially over time. IRR, however, makes short-term projects look more appealing, and this is possible even with negative NPV and vice versa. NPV assumes that a company can earn its cost of capital on interim cash flows and leave any future incremental project value with future projects. Conversely, IRR assumes that a company has additional projects with equally attractive prospects in which to invest the interim cash flows. IRR becomes ineffective for a project which has mixture of multiple positive and negative cash flows. IRR is the discount rate where NPV is zero. Now the project may have multiple IRRs in case of changing market conditions. Thus, there can be at least two IRRs that make the equation zero. NPV is equal to zero. However, NPV method can cure up the problem of multiple discount rates without any problem, as each cash flow can be discounted separately from the others. In this module, we have learned capital budgeting decision is known to be very important decision because of the huge sum involved and long-term and irreversible feature. Two types of appraisal techniques are used to appraise the financial viability of the project. One is discounted technique and another is non-discounted technique. Payback period and accounting rate of return are non-discounted techniques. Net present value, benefit cost ratio, internal rate of return, and modified internal rate of return are known as discounted techniques. Payback period method calculates the number of years required to recover the initial investment in the project. Although this is the easiest and simplest method for capital budgeting decision, it does not consider time value of money. Moreover, it ignores those projects that generate substantial inflows in later years. Accounting rate of return is the ratio of average profit after tax to average book value of the investment. Although it considers the cash flow over the entire life of the project, it also ignores the time value of money like payback period. And mostly the basis to compare the return by using ARR method suffers from subjectivity. Net present value method calculates the net present value of the project, which is equal to the difference between the present value of cash inflows and the present value of cash outflows. This method considers time value of money and thus it is superior to ARR and payback period method. A project is acceptable only if NPV of the project is positive. Benefit cost ratio is the ratio of present value of cash inflows to the present value of cash outflows. The project is acceptable if BCR is greater than 1. Net benefit cost ratio, NBCR, is BCR minus 1. The project is acceptable if NBCR is positive. Internal rate of return is the discounted rate at which NPV is equal to 0 or where the present value of cash inflows is equal to the present value of cash outflows. This method suffers from the occurrence of multiple IRR, which led to the development of a new method known as modified internal rate of return.